got my altcoins by the bag, emotionally attached, throw them on my back.
Hey everyone, this week I had a chance to speak to Lil Bubble. He's one of the breakout crypto community stars of 2019, creating a bunch of amazing parody and original songs all about trading and surviving in the cryptocurrency space. Check out his videos below and be sure to follow him on YouTube and Twitter, as well as this channel for more content like this to come in 2020. Enjoy. So what is your life kind of like before the crypto bubble? What type of things are you into? Were you kind of doing music production before you started doing the crypto songs, or?
Yeah, definitely was, man. Like it's like I've been making music, well, I don't know, I would say half my life, but it's probably more than that now. So in all different types of all different forms. Like I grew up playing in bands and stuff, and then I guess as my band members, including myself, like we all grew up and got jobs and stuff, and then there was less time for band practice, and I guess I made like a natural shift into electronic production. Like I'd always been messing with hip hop beats and stuff, but yeah, after school I sort of really delved into like the EDM side of things, and that's where I learned a lot of like production. And so yeah, I've been making music like on and off pretty much my whole life, and I guess the crypto stuff was just like a natural extension, I guess, like just combining a number of different interests.
Yeah, how did you kind of get into the crypto space? Like what was kind of your, I guess, rabbit hole into that?
Yeah, so I'd heard of Bitcoin like on the grapevine, really on and off over like God knows how long, like probably 5 or so years, and like I had no idea what it was, but like, well, I knew it was a digital currency, and like being sort of young and growing up with the internet, that the idea didn't really sound that foreign to me. Like I was like, oh yeah, cool, like makes sense, digital currency. And I guess I just sort of hear bits and pieces over the years, like the price had risen to this and that and this, and I was like, God damn, like I need to buy some of this stuff, but like I had no idea how, and I really didn't investigate enough or educate myself on how to buy, how to store it. It just seemed a bit overwhelming, so I just sort of on the back burner. And then like maybe a year later, I'd hear the price had like doubled again. I was just like, man, but yeah. So a mate actually got me into. He was mining Bitcoin in the early days, and he lost all of that too. RIP. It was a lot of Bitcoin, but we don't talk about that in front of him. He got me into Ethereum early 2017, so that was actually my first purchase.
Nice.
And that's sort of when I started learning about more so blockchain tech and the things that were potentially being built on top of it. And I guess, yeah, fell down the rabbit hole, as you said, started buying all sorts of altcoins, made a lot of money 2017, lost a lot of money 2018.
Yeah.
And here we are, man. It's been good fun.
Awesome. Yeah, it's kind of funny because I was also into crypto. Like I used to use Silk Road for, believe it or not, buying marijuana before it was legal here in Canada.
Yeah.
And it was just like, that was just like what you did with it for a utility purpose. But for me, it was also Ethereum. Like I got into Ethereum 2016, and that was more when I was like, okay, so this is cool because it's not just like a digital currency. It's can be used for contract settlement and all this cool stuff too. There's definitely more to it. Now that you've kind of like, you've obviously like, it's kind of cool how you parody a lot of like the shit coins and projects like that. Is there anything out there that you're actually like really keen on that's considered maybe like an altcoin?
Yeah, like, well, the funny thing is, like, I was really heavily invested into like the research side of things during sort of maybe 2017 onwards for a good 12 months. And as this Lil Bubble project has sort of kicked off and grown into something more, I have no time to keep up with like market research and like tracking favorite projects and their developments and time maps and that sort of thing. But like I've always sort of had a bit of a eye on VeChain and their supply chain tech, and just the things like the potential with like verifying counterfeit goods and that type of thing. I guess there's heaps of different, like as I said, like I really haven't been keeping up on top of things enough to be able to have an intelligent conversation about potential projects or like people that are delivering. Like some of the guys that I was looking at in 2017 might have like seriously just fallen off the map by now, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
like
you get a lot of people that start
such a
things and then just
saturated
never follow
market.
through.
Yeah, like there are literally hundreds of guys that just sort of did a money grab and then bailed. And
Yeah. So what is kind of your process for creating songs? Because I know you kind of like using kind of the scores of other songs as kind of like the beat and kind of
yeah,
doing parodies and stuff like that. But I know that you've also kind of ventured, you've done your own beats and stuff. And I think you said you were making like a Christmas album, right? What's
that's
kind of
right.
the
Yeah.
creative process look like for you when you're coming up with songs?
It'll depend what type of song it is. If it's a parody song, the sort of like it's pretty like the process is pretty natural for me now. Like having written and produced music for so many years. Like there was a time where I'd be like laboring over one song, like an electronic song for a month or more, and just
Hmm.
tweaking it and like. But these songs really come together quickly, and I think they have to come together quickly. Otherwise, the concept just isn't strong enough to finish or release. So,
Hmm.
like in terms of a parody song, like I might get an idea wherever. Like I might hear a song, for instance, the Old Town Road parody. Like I'd heard that song hundreds of times, and the idea never really clicked until one day. I don't really recall the moment, but I got the idea for like the main hook. If that happens, I would sit down and sort of apply a few more lines, like see if I can massage a few more of the lines easily into like a crypto related tune. If
Yeah.
that happens, I usually know that like, yeah, this is gonna work and I'll sort of finish it. But like, yeah, like the writing process generally starts in that sense with the lyrics, and that really doesn't take too long. Um, and then yeah, it's just a matter of recreating the music, like, and especially in the early days, like I was not putting any effort into that at all. Like it was like the music still is a meme, right? So like
Yeah.
it doesn't have to be like crystal clear quality. Like I can just sort of whip it up. So yeah, drag the original into Logic Pro and just basically do my best at recreating it one layer at a time. And like what's good enough is good enough. Track the vocals. A lot of the vocals are like first or second take because then it just sort of adds to, I think, the comedy value. And like the vocals are
Yeah.
never going to be perfect because I'm not really a singer anyway, so I'm not really trying to be a pro grade like studio artist here. Like I think it just makes it more fun. Like it's more fun for me, and I sort of knock over a song in a day or so and shoot the video, which is the next fun part. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and then the video process, what is that like? Because I know sometimes you kind of go out to locations, but you got like your props and stuff. Is there like a video you've been kind of dying to make that's maybe like a little bit like higher budget or kind of crazier?
Yeah, man. There's a few ideas. I won't throw any spoilers out there, but like yeah, there's a few big things. Like one of them nearly happened when I went over to Singapore when I flew over
Hmm.
there to perform at Block Show. I'd lined up something really cool, but it sort of fell through last minute. But like it's neither here nor there. Like I think I can set up a similar thing back home in Australia. But yeah, there's definitely some sort of bigger budget shoots or just like clips that I want to work into future songs. But
Hmm.
I think I also really want to keep things raw as well because at the end of the day, like the songs are memes, and I think you run the risk of like trying to be too good or too polished, and it's sort of, I don't know, might look a bit too try hard if you get what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, you
So I
want to keep
think
that kind
like
of
yeah,
organic
like
feel.
the organic feel, like that's exactly it. Like like the most popular video is the all-time lows, and it wasn't until like a month or two after I released a song that I was watching it back and I realized I had the spacesuit on back to front. Like that's how rough that thing was. We didn't even realize. Like
That's
shot
funny.
the whole video, didn't realize, edited the whole video, didn't realize, yeah. So that's a bit embarrassing, but like I said, it just makes it.
Someone in like the comment section call it out or something.
No, it was just me. I was like, I don't know why. I was like, where are the like? Because the suit sort of has these hoses, like a blue and a red hose, and I was like, where
Yeah.
are the hoses? And then I was like, they're on the back. Yeah, it was a bit embarrassing, but to me, it just makes it more fun, man. The whole thing's just a joke anyway, so you can't really go wrong. But yeah, it's just
That's awesome.
the video process is basically my mate Brad, who actually is the guy that got me into Ethereum. He's the guy that helps me out with most of the videos, which is cool. Like I just call him up and say, yo, I want to shoot this video at this spot, and like yeah, we take the camera out there. It usually takes an hour to film, then I come back and edit the video up in a couple of hours, and then you've got the song. But yeah, Brad's a good sport, man, and he's getting better with the camera work, and I've just bought a new camera recently, so like things like that. Like the production quality will sort of hopefully improve over time. But like I said, like I'm not really aiming for like a Hollywood spec type deal.
Right, right. So I was gonna go back to actually what you were talking about Singapore. How did that whole deal come through? Because that was kind of amazing, flying out there and you
Dude,
going on a
it's
stage. Like, was that like your first time kind of doing something big like that, I guess, outside the band work?
yeah, definitely. Like the band stuff was sort of only ever local gigs. I've done a bit of touring as a DJ, as an electronic artist, but like
Oh,
never
cool.
like that was the first international thing. So that was pretty, yeah, pretty next level. But yeah, basically, Addy, the CEO, hit me up on Twitter, and I sort of didn't know how to take it to start with. I was like this seems like such a big thing. I don't know how this is going to work. But then we spoke over email, had a few video conferences with the team, and we had a couple of months to sort of work out the logistics, and yeah, that was cool. Like everybody over there was so sweet, and got to meet CZ and threw out some goodies on stage with him. Like the whole thing was just funny, which is exactly what it's supposed to be. And yeah, like things like that, man. Like they just still make me laugh. Like especially like me and Brad. He's probably one of my only mates I've got left that's sort of still in crypto. There was a few, like I'm sure everybody had, like the odd mate that was sort of dipping their toes in 2017, but like only like the
Yeah.
true sort of believers, or not even believers, I guess enthusiasts, like people with a true interest in the tech or the scene are the only guys left. And yeah, so it's basically just myself and Brad in a chat every day. I'm just like, I'll screenshot something and he'd just be like, what the fuck? Like, we're both just like, how did this become this? Like, we used to talk and joke about things like, oh, like, um, 12 months, like Lil Bubble will be on stage at a conference. Like, that was literally like a joke to us because the whole project was a joke. And then, yeah, like, basically everything we've joked about has happened and is still happening. And it's just like ridiculous.
That's awesome, man. I was gonna say because it's one of the things that everyone always talks about is like adoption. Like, how do we get this to like the mainstream? And I think the work that you're doing actually really plays like a factor into that. Because I feel like the crypto space, when you look at just like the content, right? You just look at what's coming out on YouTube or whatever, it's always like technical analysis videos. And like no one's really going out there and kind of making entertaining content or kind of thinking outside the box. And I think the work that you're doing, the stuff like that is really what gets more people from the outside into the space.
Yeah,
How do you
that's
kind of
cool.
feel
Thank you,
about
man.
like the content creation space around crypto? Like, do you interact with other people who are doing things or?
Not so much. Oh, there's like the odd like Twitter guy that will hit me up in the DM and we'll have a chat. And I've met up with a few, especially in Singapore, because there was a lot of guys sort of flew out for that event.
Hmm.
But yeah, like as we know, most of these guys are like anonymous Twitter
Yeah.
personalities, so there's not really much like sharing or like you can do there. But it was awesome to meet those guys. And when it comes to like consuming content, like as a viewer myself, like as I said, I'm just so busy. Like life is just ridiculous at the moment. Like 2017, I was able to sort of watch a lot of YouTube, and um, like your recommended videos would all be crypto related, and I was consuming a lot. But
Yeah.
honestly, like the last sort of 12 months, because yeah, like my full time gig is graphic design, and that's really been flat out in itself. And then pretty much every hour outside of that, that's not spent with family is spent doing this little bubble thing. So there's really not much time for me to sort of watch much content these days.
That's awesome though. But so your plan for 2020, you want to make this like a full-time thing, hey?
Look, man, I'll take it as it comes. Like I'll be
Yeah.
stoked to do that. So yeah, like we'll see if like the right things fall into place. And yeah, always sort of looking for the next opportunity or the next way that we can sort of take it to the next level, or have a bit more fun with it. So yeah, there's definitely a lot more music in the work. So like at the bare minimum, it will just be more of the same, just continuing on.
Yeah. No, I know for sure. Like I talked to a couple other crypto creators and they always say that like you can watch the growth of your channel or your content based on like how the price of Bitcoin is doing. And like you can like line the charts up of like how many like daily subscribers you get versus like the price of Bitcoin.
Yeah,
Like in 2017, like all these people were kind of coming out of nowhere and stuff. But I definitely find like it's a little bit challenging nowadays because you're kind of stuck to the hardcore people who are just left in the
yeah,
space. Like it's hard to kind of break
definitely,
out,
man.
but
And I think the
everything
hard
kind of blows up in the next bull run, I guess.
yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, and when you look at it, like I think my first Lil Bubble music video was only released maybe 6 months ago. So, like, what we've done in the last sort of, well, the whole Lil Bubble lifespan has been done during like the bear market. So I think, yeah, if that's anything to go by, hopefully things just like go even more crazy in a bull run. But like, I'm pretty sure like you see the guys on Twitter, like I was only thinking about that the other day, like some of the massive Twitter accounts from like 2017, like with over like, you know, like 6-figure followings and stuff.
Hmm.
And you just look at their engagement and it's not like it's nowhere near it used to be. Like you just try
No.
to sort of gauge how many of those users are active in the crypto space now. And I think like it's, yeah, really telling. Like you'd probably be lucky to have like 1/10 of their following actually online consuming crypto content these days.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely, there's been a really big shift.
Mm.
The thing I like nowadays is I feel like scammers are getting called out a lot more,
Yeah, that's it.
which is good. You
Yeah.
know, this whole thing with hex. I don't want to dive into that too much, but I know like some people are digging up some stuff with that.
Yeah.
Um, okay, two fun questions. If you could have a collaboration with any artist, who would it be?
Oh, dude, there's so many. Um,
I guess that maybe like fits probably a little close to your vibe. Like I don't know, like Mozart might be a weird one, but
yeah, I guess I don't know, man. As Lil Bubble, I think pretty much any modern rapper would be fun. Like, um, I guess the obvious one would be Lil Nas X because we did like the Old Town Road parody. But yeah, something like that, man, would be cool. Like something fun, like something with it, like something that's along the lines of what Lil Bubble's about, which is just fun, upbeat, messing around. Yeah, that'll be cool. Like someone like Lil Nas X or like Lil Pump or someone like that.
yeah. Kanye
Oh, dude, yeah,
or
Kanye would have to
Drake.
be at the top of most people's list. I think
Yeah.
Drake is probably unattainable for 99.99% of
Yeah.
people, but like there's not a man alive or man or woman alive that would turn down a Drake collaboration, I would dare say.
Yeah, maybe he'll launch his own altcoin and he'll ask you to come on board for the promo song.
Drake, slide into those DMs, man. I'm here for you.
Yeah. If you could pick one person from like the crypto space, who would it be to kind of like be featured in your video?
I don't know. Well, we've sort of done CZ. That was like if you had have
Yeah.
asked for Block Show, it would have been CZ because he's the man. Like he's probably the biggest personality in crypto.
Yeah.
Uh, who else is there really? Like a lot of the Twitter guys are sort of anonymous, so it'll be hard to work that out. Oh, there's some big guys. There's like BitLord. He'd be cool. He's a fun dude. He's an Aussie
Yeah.
as well. So,
I was gonna say no love for the fellow Aussie, Craig Wright.
look, I would consider featuring him in video, but I don't think he would sign off on the end product for some reason.
Yeah, he'd probably
I
take you
don't
to
think he'd
court.
agree with the way that I would like to feature him in the video.
Yeah, he'd probably sue you for like 1 million bitcoins or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, awesome, man. Thanks so much. Really appreciate your time here, dude.
Thanks for having me, man.
Oh, cool, man. Take it easy.
Merry Christmas. Have a good one.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Can't wait for the album.
Thank you, man. Should be dropping very soon.
Sweet.